And we find ourselves at the stadium that played host to Super Bowl 52, the wondrous U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. The scene a short time ago, this crowd decked out in purple, and they were in full roar as their guys burst out of the locker room. We're ready for football, folks, as the Vikings get set to do battle with the Buffalo Bills. It's the first weekend of autumn, and the NFL is in full swing as off we go on EA Sports. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line.
Lucky 56! Lucky 56! Hey!
Here's the now 30-year-old running back, LaShawn McCoy. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And they're able to get this one across the 35. 10 yards, good enough for a Buffalo first down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. And McCoy loses the football.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover.
Hey, tight end's right. Watch tight end. Leopard!
On the ground, this is T.J. Yeldon. 10 yards, good enough for a Buffalo first down.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line.
Hey, 4 down.
So the shotgun snap to Allen. He will go out right near the 35-yard line. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down.
Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I don't think you can get much more balance than this. Big-time run. Big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. Looked pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that kind of a punch, though.
All right, here we go. Green 39. Green 39. Black 99 Philly. Here we go. Hey, pick your game up. Big edge.
Now a first down carry here for McCoy. And he'll be taken down at the 34. Making the stop there, Danielle Hunter.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Hey, boys, we got 4. Leopard! Over!
They keep it on the ground. This time it's Yeldon. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down. The 7th play now of this opening drive. This is 3rd and long, though.
Key the tight end.
From the gun, it's Allen. That's Foster hauling it in over the middle. And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 and mark him at the 5. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Back 99 Philly, here we go. Over.
Now McCoy. And this is going to result in losing yardage. They're driven back to the 8-yard line. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. It's 2nd and goal, back to the 8-yard line now.
Lucky 56. We got 4.
Working out of the shotgun. Here's Allen. And that'll be incomplete. T.J. Yeldon, the one he was looking for. And it's 3rd down.
Certainly looked like maybe his 3rd or his 4th read on his progression. Just trying to find his outlet man that time. Ends up leading him just a bit too much.
This has been a long drive. You got to figure a field goal would be a letdown. Can they convert now on 3rd and goal? And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. Call it a gain of 5, but still a decent ways from the end zone now on 4th and goal.
Oh, Brandon, that was a big play by the defense to keep him at the end zone on 3rd down, so there's an early decision to be made here, isn't there? I know that 3 is awfully tempting, but I'd pull on my big boy pants right now, and I'd go for it.
A dozen plays on that drive that ends with the field goal.
Let's go ahead and break out some of the old chestnuts here, right, partner? Keep the ball in front, rally to it, and make the tackle, right? No big plays given up, no balls over your head. Bend, don't break.
Hold on. Chestnuts?
You like
Come
that
on.
one?
What does that mean, break out? Just because you break chestnuts?
I'm not sure about that, but I'm just going with why they said that. I have no idea.
And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their own 26.
Hey, guys. Rhino!
And it's a welcome back to health for last year's #1 pick. This is Dalvin Cook. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. 23 yards on the pickup there and a 1st.
I remember the first time I saw Dalvin Cook play in college. I was watching him on TV, called a scouting friend of mine and said, "Who is this guy? He's special." And he said, "Dude, you're watching a home run hitter on the field."
Yeah, he was special in Tallahassee. Left Florida State their all-time leader in rushing yards and touchdowns. Cousins going deep here for Watkins. So they took a shot on 1st down but couldn't connect.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, and have them back on their heels.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10.
Gun.
Now Cousins. Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Pressure, and that's certainly going to be a key to this game going forward. And that time, they were able to get in there and influence the throw. And remember, quarterbacks got to get rid of it. They don't have the tucker roll that they can fall back on anymore.
So now 3rd and 10. They had the big play to start the drive, but 2 incompletions since.
The hot. What is he? Three down.
On 3rd down, Cousins. And that is incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, How about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
He punted 4 times in the loss last week as he gets this one away here. Oh, he'll field it in the end zone. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And the Bills will be backed up to start the drive. They'll have it 1st and 10. Here's the Buffalo offense now as they get set to take over here. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
Escaping the pressure right. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Play action is supposed to be used to slow down pressure, slow down blitzes. In this case, though, if it takes a little too long to develop, you got people right in your face.
And lucky just to get rid of the ball with the arm going forward. Could have been a fumble. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. And here's Allen. Going to throw again. And he fires one incomplete. Cole Beasley, the intended target. And that takes us from 2nd to 3rd down.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. Now with the play clock almost gone, Sean McDermott's going to call for a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. An incomplete pass on 2nd down. It muddles things a little bit here. This is 3rd and 10. From the gun, Allen. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Eric Kendricks. And he's going to return it to the 21-yard line. He had a little bit of the turnover bug last week, 3 interceptions. Not an absolute disaster, but another one here. Do you start to get a little worried?
You worry about your team as a whole because you have to find a way to make those interceptions, quote-unquote, go away, and that means your defense. They've got to go out there on sudden change and at least hold people to field goals. And if that keeps happening, they lose confidence in the quarterback, and then no one plays well.
Following the interception, Cousins under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Jerry Hughes in there to bring him down for a loss of 7. Now following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17.
Hey, we got 3. Hey, 180!
From the shotgun, it's Cousins. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. They get 14 back, but it leads now to a 3rd down.
But when you hit him on the move like that, and he's able to get into open field with a full head of steam, oh, boy, it's going to be tough to get him down.
Yeah, there was a big window. They're lucky they did get him down. Third and short yardage, Cousins. Now the hit comes, and Cousins lost the football. And they will take over at the 26-yard line. A bad 3rd down mistake there.
Points were already on the board in their mind. And that's the worst part about it, right? Because it's just like in golf. Never count it in the cup until it rolls in there. Otherwise, you can really get messed up with your scores. In this case, you know they thought, hey, at least 3, maybe even a chance to get 6. It's a little bit demoralizing going off the field now that you've turned it over and you come up empty.
Yeah, if he holds on to that, at least the field goal on 4th down, now they lose it. Allen and the Bills now with a 1st and 10 at their own 26. They'll start on the ground with McCoy. Fights loose, and he'll be tackled at about the 35. Just what you want on a 1st down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2.
Hey, we got 4. Over! No, check, Patriot! Check 3. Over! Motion!
So they fake the handoff. Now Allen looking for Jones, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Mike Hughes. And he's able to get it back to the 41-yard line. The rookie picked off the rookie.
And guess what? They're pretty familiar with each other. It's not like when I was growing up and the dinosaurs were roaming the earth and you heard about a guy somewhere. Now they run into each other at camps, going through high school ball, recruiting, college games, all-star games, you name it. A lot more familiarity with each other.
He's got it complete to Diggs, right side. And he's going to get this inside the 30. 15 yards there on the catch and run. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the 1st down completion. On 2nd down, Cook with a 1st down and much more. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. A great play there. His 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Vikings are able to strike for 6.
Nice touchdown, baby. Keep working.
Bailey now to kick this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he'll get this only back to the 20. The Bills offense now, they get set to head back onto the field. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm and really being firm with his team. I had one tell me once, when we were having a tough patch, this too shall pass, and then finally we kept having a rough patch. He said, but you've got to do something
Heads up.
to make it pass, and that's what they have to do. They've got to get some control back, get themselves reasserted, and calm things down.
See if they can get calm and reassert themselves here. After the incompletion, they'll try once more from the 20-yard line on 2nd and 10. Back to the air on 2nd down. It's Allen. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Mike Hughes with his first pick in the league. And he's going to score. It's a Viking touchdown. So a pick 6 there out of the nickel package. They went with 5 DBs.
Almost becoming the base package in the NFL is the nickel. Hard to throw against. That was demonstrated one more time. A pick 6 going the other way.
Bailey got the extra point, and that pushes the lead up to 11. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. And here come the Bills. And they just had that pick six. I guess the only positive maybe of them returning that for a touchdown. This offense right back out onto the field to try to make up for it.
I like that because now it doesn't give them a chance to go to the bench and really settle, to sit there and kind of seethe over the idea that they turned the ball over previously. Right back out there, it's almost like hopping right back on the bike after falling over. See if they can get the ball moving again.
Yeah, we'll see if they can do it here. A really nice gain of 25 yards. And that's one of his advantages of a passer, is now with his height, setting back there in the pocket, firing it over the middle, he can really see everything clearly.
It is, and I know that other quarterbacks get it done different ways, all right? You don't have to be his height to make a great play, but what he does is he takes away having to make those slide steps in the pocket to find angles to throw the ball through. He just throws right over the top of it because he can see everything, and sometimes that saves time and gets the ball to a receiver quicker.
Play action. Now it's Allen. They'll roll him out right, and he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. So now 3rd and 10. A big play to start the drive, but nothing since. Again, they'll throw with Allen. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. The Vikings offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Tight end to the right, boy. Tight end to the right. Move. Jahan, 180. We got 3, fellas. We got 3.
They start the drive with Cook. Able to make one man miss, but he will be corralled around the 10-yard line. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4. Of course, last year, you think about Dalvin Cook's injury in Week 4 with a torn ACL, just hoping that he can stay healthy in 2018.
And if so, we'll see plenty of runs that will be big time in 2018. Because in 2017, he took over the starting running back job as a rookie and was off to a terrific start. In fact, if you ask people in the Minnesota Vikings organization, they were giddy at the fact that they were able to get him outside of the first round and plug him into the lineup. They expect him to be big time in this season.
Now that'll be tipped and intercepted. Picked off at the 21. And to the 40-yard line, that's where the return stops. He was looking for Watkins that time.
Oh, and that's a nice job defensively to get a piece of the football. He's going to pop it into the air, and then it's the tip drill. And good concentration by him to react to it and pull in the interception.
Allen and the Bills now with a 1st and 10 at the 40. They go play action here on 1st down. And he couldn't hang on. Would have been their 4th pick of the game. Instead, 2nd down.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the 2nd quarter. A lot of time to change things. Now T.J. Yeldon, and he'll be brought down just shy of the 45. Tackle made there by the UCF man, Mike Hughes.
He was hoping to get to the edge, but they did a really nice job of forcing him back inside. That's excellent fundamental defensive football. Don't let them outside where they can really shred your defense.
And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion. What you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the 1st down. In this case, it didn't happen.
A big roll of the dice on 4th and 1, but it pays off. They convert. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. 1st down, and they're going to throw with Allen. And he couldn't hang on. Would have been their 4th pick of the game. Instead, 2nd down.
But one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown them a lot of different looks here in the 1st half. They've come after them. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. This give is to McCoy. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. 14 yards, and the Bills will get a new set of downs.
That's it, baby. That's it.
2 minutes remain here in the 1st half. More from Minneapolis after this. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
Back 55.
Space to run past the 20. And all the way home for a Bills touchdown. LaShawn McCoy, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Bills draw a bit closer.
Well, partner, that was another explosive run, and one thing I've learned in our time in this game, yes, the offensive line has to get a lot of credit, but for big runs to occur, the wide receivers have to block well downfield.
And then you have to have a good guy carrying the ball too, right?
Oh, without a doubt. You need that difference maker lugging the rock.
So they elect to pass there on the 2-point try. Sometimes could prove risky. There it worked out.
Yeah, and I love how you bring up that it can prove risky, because if you get it intercepted and they return it, that's 2 points for the defense, but not on that play.
That's fielded in the end zone. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious, because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. And he will lose yardage on the play, back at his own 19-yard line. Call it a loss of 2 on the play, and it'll be 2nd and 12.
All right, now here we go. Yellow, 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 yellow. 3 down, 3 down. Black, black. 49.
From the gun, here's Cousins. He's going to look deep for Watkins. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down.
Three down. Who's on 85?
Yellow, yellow. Ready, sit in there. Yellow, yellow. Yellow, yellow. Gun.
Mike 51. Hey.
Black, black.
Hey, let's go.
Cousins to throw it. And this is caught by Watkins.
Here we go.
He's got his first catch here before halftime, and it goes for a first down.
Wide, wide.
He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on third down. Very proficient and a good pass. And now the hit comes, and Cousins lost the football. And the Bills have recovered. He already had the one fumble loss, so now 2 fumbles lost here in this first half.
Not setting the pace the way that you want it done. I mean, here in the first half, already twice the ball's come out and hit the turf. Got to find a way to take care of it. Otherwise, they may have to start thinking about maybe someone different at that position.
To throw, it's Allen. This is Yeldon on the dump off. That one goes for 16 yards. It sets him up first and goal.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
They'll try and run for it with Yeldon. They stop short. Down at the 1. Had the great move, but couldn't get it all the way home. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1. Another shot from the 1 on second and goal. They'll try to punch it in with Yeldon. And he takes it in across the chalk for a Bills touchdown. T.J. Yeldon, his second touchdown on the season. And the Bills are in for 6.
And while that touchdown does not give them an insurmountable lead, it's still a lead, and that always feels good to a team.
They'd love to take that into the lockers, but a little time left on that clock, so some work to do.
I like that. I like how you're guarding against a letdown there.
Marty looking forward.
Coaching them up from right up here in the booth.
Hauschka with the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Here's Hauschka now to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. And out now come the Vikings. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you've got to figure if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here.
Tight end right.
Gun.
Three down. 49's the mic. Watch 49.
Cousins now to throw on first down. He's going to sling this deep downfield. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down.
Well, partner, they're not content to run this one out as we head towards the half, trying to hit a big chunk play right there and add to their score.
Yeah, this is a confident group. At the very least, they're thinking field goal.
Yeah, and I don't blame them one bit. I don't think you sit on the ball going into the half when you have a chance to put some more points on the board.
Yellow, yellow, yellow. Wide, wide.
A second down throw for Cousins. And that one goes incomplete. He's maybe lucky it wasn't a fumble as he got hit as he threw it. Boy, the numbers throwing the football just not trending in the right direction. Last week he was under 50%. He's under 50% again here.
And we haven't gotten an announcement, but it appears to me that he might be a little dinged up and is just trying to play through. You know, he's one of those tough guys that wants to answer the bell each and every play for his team. That might be throwing off his accuracy.
Rose, Rose. Rose, Rose.
Mike 51, Mike 51.
Cousins now. And he comes back with one complete. And he's got this almost to the 40 before going out. 15 yards through the air and a first down.
He's a rookie, and you don't want to get hung up on the word potential. But when you see him make catches like that, you keep thinking to yourself, he's good now. He's got a chance to be great with plenty of work.
Going deep here for Watkins. He's got it at the 15. Touchdown, Vikings. Sammy Watkins as the first half is winding down. And the Vikings are able to strike for 6. Extra point up and good by Bailey. And that gives them a 3-point lead. Bailey now to kick this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And in hindsight, probably should have stayed where he was as he'll only get back to the 16-yard line. Back onto the field now comes the Bills offense. And the ball backed way up, so thinking with this amount of time on the clock, probably just sit on it, and we'll see these two teams go to the lockers.
Yeah, I don't think you want to overthink it in this situation. Either side of the ball. Just go ahead and finish up the half and get on out and talk about it.
15 seconds, all that remains for this first half as they come up first and 10. Now a play fake here on first down. Eluding the pressure right. He's going to let this go deep, back over the middle. And he couldn't hang on. Would have been their 4th pick of the game. Instead, second down. So now second and 10 after the incompletion on first down.
Single receiver. Hey, you're on an island over there. Single receiver.
Gun, gun! Gun, gun! Over, 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 over!
Hey, check, check.
Now Allen to throw again. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the... And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Harrison Smith. And the return comes to a halt right at the 44-yard line. So we've reached halftime here in Minnesota with the Vikings on top. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, that'll be taken in the end zone. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. A first scoring update now from Carolina. And the Panthers, they're starting to pull away in that one. And we'll be sure to keep an eye on that one as we go along here. Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 right at the 30.
Ringo!
Starting the third quarter with Cook. Nice move at the 40. And he's brought down after a very nice gain. An ideal beginning of the drive there as they'll get 20 and a first down.
Any team that successfully runs a toss play cannot do it with an offensive line that can't move. You've got to have mobile players, especially those tackles, who can move laterally and seal the edge in order for the back to get upfield.
Cousins now from the 50. Throw left side on target to Thielen. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. A good pickup there, 26 yards. Cousins now 9 of 16 through the air as he's got it 1st and 10.
Odd. 180. Mike's 49. Mike's 49. Check.
A give. This is Cook. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
That's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
Double tight.
Gun.
49.
2nd down, Cousins.
Let's go.
He's got his man. It's taken in for a Viking touchdown. Sammy Watkins, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Vikings are going to add on to their lead. Bailey got the extra point, and his guys will take a 10-point lead. Bailey now to kick this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. He juked him. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. So here's the Bills offense now. They get ready for their first possession of the 2nd half. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12.
Right there. 54.
On 2nd down, here's Yeldon. Gets around him. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. That one good for 10 yards. And all of a sudden here, it's 3rd down. Allen now operating from the gun. He goes underneath for Yeldon. And he's got the first down as he's up to the 45-yard line.
Watch you now, Barney.
They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains.
Hey, boys, we got 4 down.
Allen now on 1st down. And this is incomplete. That one was intended for John Brown. And it's 2nd down.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time.
No. Check. Patriots.
Allen will try again on 2nd down. Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down. Daniil Hunter
Watch you now, Barney.
in there to bring him down for a loss of 7. On 3rd and long, it's Allen. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. Daniil Hunter in there to pick up his 2nd sack now of the afternoon. Here's Matt Darr now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. And this will be taken at the 13. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. And we have seen a lot on the scoreboard here in this quarter. So sometimes you talk to me about tendency breakers on offense. These defenses struggling. Are there tendency breakers on defense?
All defensive coordinators keep something in their hip pocket for these types of situations. What can we do to slow down the onslaught? But the biggest thing is make sure these guys encourage each other, pick themselves up, because right now it's been a really tough ball game trying to stop these offenses.
Oh, it really has, especially as of late. A gain of 6 there on first. They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. They run the counter with Cook. And tough going there as he'll only get it up to about the 31. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 3rd and 3.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
The Vikings on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This time it's 3rd and 3.
Hey, flipper. Key 8. 2.
Working out of the gun, Cousins. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. This will be taken at the 10. A good return there, 17 yards. And the Bills will take over the football with a 1st and 10. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down.
Mike's 54.
On play action, Allen sliding out of the pocket. Looking downfield for Jones. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete.
Sure, that pass was incomplete as they made an attempt to get a big one downfield, but that's okay because the second part of that is if you don't get the completion, at least you've told the defense you're trying to stretch them out a little bit, and they may have to change accordingly.
Allen again here on 2nd and 10. He'll set up the screen to McCoy. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. That'll go as a loss of 5. And they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Throwing on 3rd and long. Allen. And that's caught by Beasley. His first catch, and it's a pretty big one. They get the conversion on 3rd down. This quarterback now 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10.
No. Check. Patriot.
Allen to throw once more. And now here is another interception. Picked off at the 39. And they take possession of the football and have it at the 36-yard line. Yet another interception, and I just had to double-check my math. But it is now 8 between last week and this week.
Well, I just used a calculator. I didn't worry about double-checking it. But the thing that always throws me when you see quarterbacks in this type of a bad spot, they're trying to figure out what they can do to change it, and sometimes they try too hard, and they never get out of it. And that's where he is right now. He's just locked in a really bad way.
Following the interception, Cousins. And now another turnover as this one's intercepted. Picked off by Jordan Poyer. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Oh, nice pick. Watch the edge. 54.
And they'll hit him for a loss as he's back to his 2-yard line.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Tight as
Now this time, Allen will throw. And he is not going to get away. The rush was too strong, and this is going to wind up a safety. And you know, the man who sat in my chair the last few years, he has a theory. These plays, these safeties, they're so rare. Maybe they should be worth more than 2, maybe 4 points.
I think he's got a great point. I really do, Brandon. But I would go ahead and up it to 6. I'm a former defender. To me, that's like scoring a touchdown.
Easy now. I'll go 4. I don't know about 6.
Come on. Come up to 6.
A lot of points. And now out comes Minnesota. And last time wasn't pretty. One play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to go ahead and throw the ball again now on this drive after what happened on the last one. Throw it on the first play. Give the quarterback some confidence.
See what happens. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. And we return, welcoming you back to Minneapolis. It's the Vikings in possession of the football and the lead. They'll be looking to add to that total as we begin quarter number 4. 2nd and 12 after the first down pass play went backwards for 2 yards.
Black.
Single.
Black.
49's a Mike.
From the shotgun, it's Cousins going for the deep ball. It's caught inside the 25. Touchdown, Vikings.
Touchdown.
Kirk Cousins with 3 touchdown passes now in the afternoon. And the Vikings find a way to stretch their lead. Extra point up and good by Bailey. And that will make this a 19-point game. Bailey now to kick this one away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And he'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line. Now the Bills offense gets ready to head back onto the field. And the last time they had the football, they surrendered 2 points on the safety. They don't want to do that one again.
No, not at all. It's almost like a bases clearing double, isn't it? Give up a couple of runs.
Sure.
just messes things up for you offensively. But now they've got to go ahead, take it, set it aside, and move forward.
Allen and the Bills now with a 1st and 10 at their own 24.
Tight dog.
They'll start out on the ground. It's T.J. Yeldon, and he'll get this one up to the 26. Tackle made by Eric Kendricks.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker, and what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
They'll run it again with Yeldon, and that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he can even get started. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that'll lead here to a 3rd down.
Watch you now, Barney. Over.
A give to McCoy. And now running right through him. And a pretty little juke move there on a nice gain. A good pickup there, 7 yards, but it brings up 4th down.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Right there. 54 Mike. Yo. He's coming. Double up. He's coming. Double up.
Back 99 Philly. Here we go. Over.
And now before this 4th and 2 play comes to fruition, they're going to think about it and call a timeout. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. A critical one here if they're going to have any shot at this thing. So they'll go for it on 4th down.
4 down. Check.
Now Allen, got to have this one. He's going to have his running back. It's complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th. This quarterback now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. Now McCoy. And they went the wrong way there. Losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
He's checking. Crash.
Leopard! On 2nd down, it's McCoy. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. It goes as a loss of 6. And now 3rd down. A pair of negative running plays, and now they're looking up at a 3rd down at 17 to go.
Mike 5-5.
And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. And a loss of 3 to bring up 4th.
Well, that's pretty symptomatic about how things have gone here. That play was just shut down right from the start.
And not going to give them a lot of confidence to help turn things around.
Check. 40's Mike. 40's the Mike. Here we go.
Time for a break. We'll come back and see this one out after this. All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it.
Check him out. He's going to sit right over the middle. Watch the middle.
One final try here for Allen. It's caught. Jones. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th. This quarterback now a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. 1st and 10. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and that'll make it 2nd and a foot or so.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there. I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down 4th quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. 14 yards, and the Bills will get a new set of downs.
We'll definitely see some open running lanes, and he's taking advantage of it right now, but that shouldn't be a surprise. Defense has the lead. They're playing for the pass first.
One final shot. They'll look to throw. Rolling to his right. And that will be incomplete. They were going for a... young season, and they will hit the road next week to take on the Los Angeles Rams. Meanwhile, for the Bills, the early struggles continue as they'll sink to 0-3, and they'll try to get back to their winning ways next week as they head to Lambeau to take on the Packers. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Certainly have to thank Charles Davis, my broadcast partner, and our entire crew. We'll catch you next time right here. It's the NFL on EA Sports.